Warren Buffett, we know he is the world-best investor and he has built his fortune by analyzing individual businesses and buying them at discounted prices. His strategy can essentially be summarized by just waiting and waiting and waiting. You get the perfect opportunity, and then when you have got that opportunity to buy a great company at a discount price, he buy heavily and then he aim to hold that stock for decide and decide and decide. And his strategy has led him to buy into businesses such as Coca-Cola and Apple and Bank and America and American Express. And all those positions have done remarkable well for Buffett over the year. However, the real secret to Buffett's success is not necessary in his strategy. It is his temperament. Some people should not own stocks at all because they just get too upset with price fluctuation. If you are going to be dumb thing because your stock goes down, you shouldn't own a stock at all. What are dumb things? Selling a stock, yeah, it's selling the stock because it goes down. I mean, if you buy your house at $20,000 and somebody comes around next thing say I will pay you 50, you don't sell it because the quote 15. You look at the house or whatever it may be it. But some people are not actually emotionally or psychologically fit to own stock, but I think there are more of them should be. If you get educated on what you are really buying, which is part of business, is not that interesting that literally the world best stock pickers say if you do not have the right temperament, don't even try to do what he does. And I know his talk of having the right temperament, how it's so important, sound a little bit always, but it actually true, believe me. Okay, because a lot of like the main reason investors that pick individual stock lost money is not because they don't find great business. Most people out there find great business to buy. The reason they lost money is that they get influenced by their emotion. They end up buying and selling those great business at completely the wrong time. So what do you do if you want to be an investor but you quite simply can't keep your emotion in check? And by the way, it's totally okay if you recognize that you are one of those people that you are not going to be able to keep your emotions out of your investing. Well, luckily for you, over the past few decades there has been a stock market, there have investing approach that gain tremendous popularity. That is of course passive investing thought index fund. It's essentially where you buy one stock and that one stock actually represent wide diversification. In a lot of instance it represent diversification cause the whole market. So the idea here is that you just show up years and every year and you continue to buy into the market, rain hole or shine, and you show up every single year and you do that year after year for decide on in And what that does is it take the emotion out of investing. You are not trying to pick the right times to buy in and out. You are not trying to pick the right company to buy in and out of. Instant, you are just banking the market in general showing up which and every year and over a long period of time. That means you will average out of the average market return. And here the things I find crazy, that the stock market approach is the stock market approach that Warren Buffett, the world-based active investor, recommend for most investors. So this time I went back actually to 1942 when I bought my first stock as an illustration of all of the things that have happened since 1944 to we have had 14 presidents, 7 Republicans, 7 Democrat. We had World War, we had 911, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, we have all kind of things. The best single thing you should have done on March 11, 1942 when I bought my first stock was just buying an index fund and never look at a headline, never think about stock anymore, just like you should do if you bought a farm. You just buy the farm or let the tent farmer run it for you. And I pointed out that you put $10,000 in an index fund that reinvested divided, and I paused for a moment to let the audience try and goes how much it amount to, and it should come to $51 million now. And the only things you had to really believe in them is that Americans should win the war and the America should progress as it has ever since 1776, and that American, because if American move forward, American business should move forward. It did. You have to worry about what stock to buy. You should have to worry one day to get in the out. You did know the Federal Reserve should exist whenever it may be an American works. And this is why Warren Buffett likes to recommend this strategy. It takes the psychological aspect out of your investing. It takes away the need to have that right temperament. Right, you don't need to know what stock to buy. You don't have to worry about what they to get in the and what they to get out, and it still reduce a great result if you have in time. And that really the second big things to successful investing is, firstly, you need the right temperament, but secondly, you need to allow enough time for the magic to happen. Because don't get me wrong, like there are some period of time where the market goes nowhere for like 10 years. For example, from 1966 to 1978 the market did nothing, zero. You got a zero return. But if you have just held on for another 10 years, all of a sudden you have got a total return of 187% and a compound annual growth rate of 5%. So what that 12 years for 0 or 22 years for 187 total. So it's a strategy that works consistently. if you got the journey with your dollar cost averaging. And here Warren Buffett talking especially to that point. So I should pick a broad index, but I should choose a choke in at any one time. I should do it over a period of time, because the very nature of index fund is that you are saying, I think American business is going to do well over reasonably well over a long period of time, but I don't know enough to pick the winners, and I don't know enough to pick the winners time. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know enough to pick the winnings time. Occasionally I think I know enough to pick a winner, but not very often, and I certainly can pick winners by going down through that whole list and saying this is a honor and this not, and so on. So the important things to do, if you have an overall feelings that business is a reasonable place to have your money over a long period of time, is to invest over a long period of time and not make any bet implicitly by putting a big sum in at a given time. So yesterday the quotes and recommend dollar cost averaging is the way to go, because it protect you from two different things. It protect you firstly from your own emotions, and then secondly it protect you from what you can be market wide swing, quite a drastic market wide swing, because if you hang in there for the long period of time, you continue to show up, yes, and every year slowly but surely you average out the average market return. So work out your plan, keep showing up year after year, decide after decide, and overall that is why Warren Buffett likes this strategy so much and is so quick to recommend it even before he recommend his own investing strategy. And he held this opinion for a long time too. This is an extract from his 1996 annual letter to shareholders, where he said most investors, both institutional and individual, will find that the best way to own common stock is through an index fund that charges minimum fees. Those following this path are sure to bet the net result after fees and expenses delivered by the great majority of investment professionals. And it's true, it you follow this approach, the evidence show that you are likely going to bet 17 to 18% of actively managed funds that are run by the professional. If we have a look here in the US, 78 of active funds have beaten the SP 50 over the past 5 years. Here in Australia, 80% of active funds have beat the SPX 200 over the past 5 years. In fact, Warren Buffett was so sure that active fund should under perfect index fund that he made a $1 million bet with a Protect Partner LLC that over a 10 years period, a hand-picked selection of hang fund should under perfect the SP 500 and sure enough Warren Buffett won easily. Heck, Warren Buffett has been recommend buying index fund. So let's run my first question. What should I invest the next? Can I have some tips? I think somebody like LeBron and we have talk about it, but I think you and LeBron have talked about it you occasionally. I think I actually thought the rest of his career and beyond in terms of earning power than just making monthly investment in them in the low cost index fund makes a lot of sense. I think the somebody position up to have a significant cash reserve and whenever make them comfortable, and then beyond that, owning a piece of American a and diversified fish brought over time hold for 13 or 14 years. It burn do well and the income will go up over the 10 years over the years, and there really nothing to worry about. So there you are, Warren Buffett the should best stock picker recommend passive investment for most people. Nobody does believe is the best strategy to make money, because otherwise he should follow it, but he does think the best strategy to make money for most people, and quite simply the reason for that is takes away the number and thing kill active investor time and time again. That is their temperament. When you have a passive investor, you don't need the right temperament, you just need to commit to a dollar cost averaging strategy, and then you just need to keep showing up. Anyways guys, that is for this video. If you should like a full run thought of the passive investment strategy and how to get started with it, then check out the link down in the description here over the portfolio. It's a 4-hour course called stock market investing for beginners. Definitely check that out, because it's really at the point lot of people that are new the market they recognize on okay dollar cost averagement passive investing. This is what I have got to, but then they never start in the schools. There are a lot of practical steps to actually make sure you follow thought and start your investing journey. So if you are interested, check that out, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, or if you found it useful. Of course it helps out the channel a lot, it helps out the video a lot, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much, and subscribe if you have not done so already. There are like a ridiculously low percentage of viewers on my channel that are actually subscribed. So if you like the contest, if you have seen a few of my video, please help out the channel joining the crew and subscribe, but that will do me the today guys. Thank you very much so for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.